Hi everyone, I welcome all the divine souls on my YouTube channel, which is Twinflame Realities. So in this video I will be sharing a ritual that is an initial ritual for starting the ancestral healing, and both can do whether you are doing it, you are a normal human being, or you are a twin flame who has come in a cursed family. So as I said, if it is a cursed family, then ancestral curse cannot be removed by just performing one ritual prayer or some other thing. There are several things which you will have to follow. So till now, whatever information I have shared on ancestors, all videos are must, and I have shared personal experiences which will help you in understanding your own journey in a better way. So in previous recent videos, I have shared one of the experience how that Tantric tried removing ancestral protection from my life in a tricky way, where he asked for my consent to cut the cords between me and the ancestors. And as I have said, ancestral curse healing requires ritual prayers and breaking all sort of karmic patterns and toxic cycles within yourself from your life itself, and that is again a time-taking process. So if you are a real twin flame who has a responsibility of removing a curse from the bloodline and breaking those toxic generational trauma, please do remember you are never alone in this journey. There are so many spirit guides and the ancestors from your previous reincarnations, and also divine, who all are supporting you in this journey. So you are never alone. You have the power, so you can definitely do this healing. So I am from India, and in Hinduism it's Tarpan, which is performed for ancestral healing. So people who are from India or Indians listening to me and who all understands this process of Tarpan, so they know that that process is quite easy. You just have to ask a priest who can perform that ritual, and it doesn't cost you a lot of money. So it is the most easiest ritual. So this Tarpan can be performed on any new moon. There is no specific timing, though there are certain periods of a 15 days time in India which has been particularly dedicated for ancestral healing. But then you don't have to wait for that. Now you can perform this ritual on any new moon, which comes every month. So when I performed this ritual in 2020, it only costed me just 3 to 4,000 rupees in INR. You can calculate in your maybe in dollars, not more than $200 to $300. I mean, depends where you live and which country do you live and what religion do you come from. So this is not an expensive ritual. It is such an easy ritual by just spending a bit of money. So whenever you are performing this ritual through a priest, you make sure that you always give them some money as charity, which is needed because they are doing this ritual for you. So that has to be done, and you can also give them clothes, new clothes, depending on your pocket. So the material which required for performing Tarpan is again quite not expensive one. I think within 1,000 rupees I was able to buy the entire stuff. So the material which was required to perform Tarpan, that was white whole grain rice, uncooked unboiled milk, black sesame seeds, white flowers, one pair of new clothes, water, and rice flour, and then wheat flour. There were few more items, and also I had to cook a sattvic meal for the offering. Now understand, it's not necessary that every priest will ask you to buy same kind of material, same kind of items, because it depends on state to state and country to country. So you can definitely go ahead and check whatever they suggest. You can go ahead and include those items in that Tarpan process. One more information, in my religion, in my country, females cannot perform this ritual, and so that I was guided that by that priest that I can sit during that ritual, and that priest can perform that ritual on behalf of me. So that's how I did, and I was guided to perform this ritual for 3 consecutive years. So I did the same thing. So as soon as this ritual I performed in 2020, and this has to be done once in a year. So after performing this ritual through priest, I started doing offerings of cooked food at to my ancestors every new moon. I have shared a ritual video also. You can look at that. So you will also have to do these kind of offerings to your ancestors on every new moon, which comes every month. But as I was guided, so I came in a cursed family, so I had lot of things had to like as toxic patterns to be removed, and several prayers were required. So until this curse was completely removed, whatever offering I was doing to my ancestors, I was not eating it, I was giving it to animals. That's how I was guided. And as soon as this entire curse was removed, then only I was suggested, guided to eat that whatever offerings I was doing to my ancestors. So you can follow the same thing. Also make sure those offerings which you have done to your ancestors, it should not be wasted. You can give it to animals like cow or dog. So all Indians who are from Hinduism, probably they follow the same sort of this ritual by calling the priest, that is called tarpan. And in case you follow some other thing, even in Hinduism, you can definitely take the guidance from the priest. Whatever they ask you, you can definitely go ahead and perform that. But then there will be some sort of rituals which are being performed for ancestral healing. Now it is advice for those who are not staying in India and staying in some other country. So this particular ritual is also performed online, and people are actually giving as a service. So in case you are opting for that kind of service for this ritual, make sure that you stay live during that ritual, because there are a lot of people who takes money and then they do not perform. They lie to you that they have done this and that, and then they also send you some sort of kind of offerings. So make sure that you remain live, so that that yeah, this has actually been performed. And please do remember, you don't have to spend a lot of money on this ritual. It is quite cheap. So there are people who may ask for a lot of money in case you are calling a priest. So be aware of greedy people that you get in every industry. So that was about Indians. And now people who are from other religion and from other country where tarpan is not being performed and is not part of their culture. And I understand that may be difficult to perform when you do not know anything about that, and then you maybe do not want to do that. So there can be several reasons. I do understand that. So now what you have to do, you have to check what is the process is being followed in your own culture, in your own religion and country for ancestral healing. Now please understand, there are a lot of healers who claims to do the ancestral healing, and then they might say to you that they can do entire healing for you on your behalf, and so that you do not have to do anything. Please understand, if you are on the process of removing the curse from a family, even including generational trauma, then no healer can do the complete healing. They can only perform the initial things, because there are toxic patterns and karmic cycles which you will have to break. So first you will have to identify, and then only you can break. Other people cannot do it on your behalf. Because whenever you are breaking a karmic cycle or a toxic pattern, there is always a lesson you will learn. You will set up a boundary, you will change a lot of things within yourself. So that is the reason that this thing cannot be done by other person, be it of a healer or anybody else. So that can only be done through you. You will have to recognize the pattern and then start working on that. So make sure whenever you are doing this offerings to your ancestors, once you have performed this ritual, so you will have to keep on doing this offerings to your ancestors on every new moon, and make sure this has to be only a vegetarian food. So vegetarian plus sattvic food, it should be without onion garlic. So this has to be followed. So but what you have to do, as I said, whenever you're doing this food offering to your ancestors at your home, make sure you are not eating it until the complete curse has been removed. So please do follow that, and make sure that food, that offering should not be wasted. So when you're doing food offering to your ancestors, you are also adding glass of water for them. So what you can do, as you cannot give that water to the animal, that may not be possible, then you can pour that water in a plant. That will be okay, but it should not be wasted. So whenever I do this offering, I actually keep this altar for 2 to 3 hours, and then I give this offering to animals when I was giving it to animals. But now, as that curse has been completely removed, so I actually eat that food, whatever offering I have done. So I keep this altar for 2 to 3 hours. So as I said in previous video, if you are about to heal the curse from a bloodline, or you take decision to start healing this generational trauma, there will be people who will start distracting you and start maybe bothering you on so many levels. So try to keep a lot of things to yourself. You don't have to tell this to anyone. So one more experience I will share, that when I was at a spiritual place last year in 2023, it was around end of 2023. So that time I was actually guided to activate specific powers of mine where I was actually facing problems. So what I did, one day I was at a temple which is actually known for its magical powers. So there I actually started sort of chanting to activate those powers. And the moment when I came back to my home and I slept during night time, what I saw, the reptilians, people, humans who exist in my family, I think they took me to the lowest realm where they belongs to, and they started scolding me for activating those powers because they become weaker and weaker day by day. So you will have to remember, make sure you have to keep things to yourself and stay protected all time, specifically when you are going to your bed. So now the surprising thing was that when I was staying at that spiritual place, I was staying alone, and I did not tell anyone that I went to that temple and what I said there about activating my powers. And then I was surprised how they are acting as monitoring spirit even in the spiritual realm. So that was such a surprising thing, and so that was the thing what I experienced. But then when I returned back from that spiritual place, one more thing I experienced. I was actually sitting with those people who are reptilians, and there were other family members. So there was a neighbor who came and started telling some sort of physical problem. So I was immediately guided by my guides to tell her a remedy, which was with some sort of like herbs thing. So the moment I started telling her, then she asked me that how do I know that, because I'm not a doctor. So I told her that this is a spiritual gift which has been passed on to me from my ancestors. And then immediately these reptilians started like distracting me. I should not tell them that I have some sort of powers, or I am a gifted being, or this is my spiritual gift. So they tried a lot. So evil people, spirit, and these reptilians who are your family members, they will always try to make you feel that you are no one, and these things are not real, and they will always maintain that other people should not recognize your light. So be remember those things will happen, and you should stay like with yourself dedicated, that you don't have to stop, you have to keep on moving in these spiritual practices. So as I've talked about monitoring spirits earlier also, and when they are immediate family members, it becomes a bit difficult to hide things from them. But then I do not tell anything to them. So there I realized that they are actually monitoring through spiritual realm, because it is possible. And see, negative people are also working with evil entities and spirits, and their duty is to always keep you stuck. They will never want you to ascend in your this particular life, and that too spiritually. So they are always acting as a monitoring spirit. So the less you tell them anything about your life, more you will be able to do your stuff. So when I saw my divine masculine, there I became stubborn that no, I will have to activate those powers which I was guided to activate, because those are needed for my soul mission. So there I was able to activate them. And once you perform this initial ritual for ancestral healing, then you actually become eligible for asking more spiritual protection from your ancestors. So that is actually one of the biggest support in this twin flame journey. So what I experienced, I was most of the time attacked when I was going to bed for sleeping. So there they attack you when you are doing astral travel. That is the reason that you have to protect yourself in so many ways if you are a real twin flame, if you are a chosen one. So whenever they are attacking you spiritually, while when you are sleeping, then you will definitely experience health issues. And what will happen when you are experiencing health issues, then you will have to take a break from your spiritual practices. So that was a continuous thing which I was experiencing until this curse was completely removed. So ancestors actually protect you during your these astral travel, whichever dimension you are traveling, whichever realm you are traveling. That is the reason that ancestors protection is must. And there are certain other kind of rituals for protection which you will have to follow, that I will guide in separate video. So once you perform this ancestral ritual, then you can definitely go ahead and ask your ancestors to protect you everywhere. And after that, then you will have to perform a small ritual for asking for more protection from divine. So after performing this, you actually get a second level of protection from divine. So since my childhood, I have actually been a very stubborn child, and I have always been supported and cared and protected by divine like a newborn baby. So during my childhood, divine once said that we can help you in this, and I said, I have not asked for this help from you. You have given me lot of powers and I can take care of myself. I am enough for myself. So that time I was actually rude with that divine, with divine that time, when divine said that we can protect you from this thing. So this was one particular attack which I was going through since my childhood. So I thought I already have a lot of power and I will definitely be able to protect myself. So then after my spiritual awakening, as these attacks got increased, there I realized, no, this is actually not under my control. So there I realized that what divine was telling me that time, that I will need their support and protection. So this was about this particular thing. So there I actually said sorry to divine, apology, and then I asked for this protection. So now what has happened, the moment I allowed divine to protect me from these evil forces, immediately there were several spirit guides, powerful spirit guides were sent in my life, who kept on fighting these evil entities to protect me. So I was not able to sleep because they kept on attacking me whenever I was going to sleep, because I was traveling and I had to find a lot of answers while doing astral travel. So they did not want me to do that. That was the reason. So now I always stay in Z plus security of the spirits, then only I am able to sleep properly. So these entities were actually targeting my physical health and more than my this mental health. So they wanted me to stop my spiritual practices because they knew that I was about to heal the curse and then all sort of healing I was doing. So they did not want me to do that. So it was divine forces who have been protecting me, and I would always need their protection, because those forces are beyond my control. So this is actually a second level of protection which you get from divine once you perform this ancestral ritual, the first ritual, initial ritual. So now I am completely protected from all kinds of spiritual attacks, whether it is done by humans in this 3D life or by dark entities. Nobody can touch me when it comes about my spiritual protection. So remember, ancestral protection is the most powerful protection which every human need on earth. So now you can go ahead and check the information, what are those ritual which are being performed for ancestral healing in your culture, in your country, and you can perform this ritual immediately on any new moon. Though I think new moon is coming within this week itself, so you can do this week also, or maybe next month new moon. So make sure this ritual is actually being performed on new moon, because new moon is actually specifically dedicated for this purpose. So this was about today's video. I will see you in another video. Till then, take good care of yourself. Bye bye.